What up there, guys? This is Jugget82, and this is the Money in the Bank 2022 results video. Now, I'm going to say something to you guys. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this pay-per-view overall. Thought it was decent. There are a couple of hits and nicks that might not be as good as you thought. But we're going to kick it off with the Money in the Bank women's title match. As you had Lacey Evans versus Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi, as well as Asuka and Becky Lynch. This match delivered. Very, very good match. I loved it back and forth. I watched it with my family. We sit back and watched it. I was rooting so hard for Asuka to win this. Unfortunately, she did. But Liv Morgan did win, and more power to her. I think Liv Morgan is a great talent. She has a very, very great set of move sets. Like with the moves I've seen her do on Raw and so forth. I really think she should be as well as it relates to being a women's champion and so forth. And she definitely is a good wrestler. Like I still wanted Asuka to win, but you know, that's how you think of things, because you know, you're going through your stuff and all that with this and that and all that good stuff. And you really want something to happen in between. But yeah, that is what it is. But you know, I still thought it was, you know, what it was. We had another good match with the Usos taking on the Street Profits for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Once again, another stellar match. The Usos, of course, every time they are in the ring with another tag team, they always deliver. They always give that extra imp or that extra oomph, whether it be with the New Day or any other tag team they have fought. And this was no exception. With the Street Profits, Montez Ford, as well as his partner, they are good gold. I still feel Montez Ford is like sorely should not be in the tag team division right now. He should be literally a singles wrestler because he can go. And with all the athleticism he can do, I feel like he has the ability to, quote unquote, be one of the best, if not the best, one of the top talents in the company at the moment. But in this match, we saw a back and forth. We saw this and that. But unfortunately, the Street Profits went up short, and the Usos won the titles. But it was controversy, people. It was controversy. It was controversy. Yes. Because, of course, there is Dawkins, his partner. He had his shoulders up when the pin was made. Yes. So when Monday night comes, we're going to see what happens with that. But that was the controversy of that particular match. But the Usos did win, as it relates on record. And yeah, you know that how they go. You know, you just go with it, and all that good shit. Now, we also had a good match. Alright match, but we already knew who was going to win. We had Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. And Carmella lost. And if you don't think she was gonna lose, then what kind of crack was you smoking when you thought you was gonna order this pay-per-view and thought she was gonna win? This was just a filler match. I feel it was a alright match. Carmella, you know, I feel like she's greeny in between, but at the same time she's alright, but it's nothing that would sit there and have me say, well, she, you know, this and that. And of course Carmella has had the title before, but it still is not Bianca Belair is, of course, a stellar athlete. She's able to work with anybody. And, of course, this match it gave a little bit more than what it needed to. And, yeah, you know how that goes. Yeah, and all that good stuff. Now, we also had a match with, of course, Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Now, this is another match that I feel was going to be who didn't think Ronda Rousey was going to win this match? But it was cool that the WWE showed a lot of stuff as it relates to the history of the Hart family, with Brett, with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the British Bulldog. They actually showed a little stuff in between. And it was cool that they did all that good stuff. And I literally liked the match. It was actually pretty decent, but it should have been made as a submission match, because this match literally throughout the entire match. It was a lot of chain holds. It was a lot of submission moves. It really wasn't any Impact Wrestling type of moves where you'd be like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Some of the fans I could hear were probably getting bored and so forth. But overall, I thought it was a decent match as relates to a actual technical kind of match that they were having. That being said, of course, Ronda Rousey won. And the thing about that match is we celebrated Ronda Rousey was getting there victorious. But wait! There's a spoiler! A spoiler indeed. Because Liv Morgan, yes, Liv Morgan cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase. And we have a new Women's SmackDown Champion, Liv Morgan. Yes, Liv Morgan is your new Women's Champion. I know some people are going to be like shocked. I was shocked because I didn't know it was going to happen that quick. But yeah, Liv Morgan is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, I know some people are going to be kind of in the umps about their booties and all that good stuff and question why it happened. But, you know, this was like a shocker. And that's something that WWE needs right now. It needs shockers and stuff that'll make people say, wow, what happened? And all that good stuff. We also had Bobby Lashley taking on Austin Theory for the WWE United States Championship. First of all, I will say this about Austin Theory. I don't really know too much about him as it relates to In and Out. I didn't really watch any of his NXT stuff, so I can't really just point in and out about him. But the little things I've seen on Raw, Austin Theory is on his way to being one of the best wrestlers in the company. But, man, this was a really good match also. Bobby Lashley, it's hard to believe that Bobby Lashley has been wrestling for so long, and he's so ripped. I mean, the man is jacked. I mean, like, if you sit there and say this man skips a day at the gym, you're lying to yourself. But it was a decent match. Bobby Lashley put it in, and, you know, he put in the work. And, by the way, still your United States champion, Bobby Lashley. And I think, once again, it was a match that was pretty decent. Austin Theory, of course, like I said, he's going to be on his way, you know, when it comes to, you know, putting on a good show for the peoples. Now, we also had a great match as it relates to the Money in the Bank. What you think? And we had Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Almost versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle. And to be honest, I thought the women's match was a little bit better. The men's match was also good as well. But at the end of the day, it was more spots and there was more things that went on in the women's match that made me say, wow. Now, the to be announced was, you hold your drums, Austin freaking Theory. And guess who won the Money in the Bank men's match? Spoiler, Austin freaking Theory. Personally, I thought he should have won that. And I felt like it was a really just slap in the face of the other wrestlers in that match. And it kind of just was like, because at the end of the day, he just had wrestled in the United States title defense he had against Bobby Lashley. And like, to me, it was more of just a filler. But then at the same time, I know Austin Theory is a really good, like I say, he's a really talented wrestler. I have nothing against the man. But at the end of the day, why would you sit there and put him as being the person to win the match when you had all these other wrestlers in that match, such as Seth Rollins, such as Matt Riddle? So you get what I'm saying, people. It didn't make any freaking sense. Overall, I would say that the pay-per-view itself was decent, pretty good. It's a pay-per-view I've watched. This is one of the first pay-per-views I've watched in a long time as it relates to a live, actual pay-per-view I've just watched for WWE, and I thought it was all good all together. A couple of things I didn't really care for is the fact that, of course, with the Matt Riddle situation, I was rooting for Matt Riddle. That's why I keep on saying his name. I wanted him to win. And I just felt like there were certain matches like with Carmella versus Bianca Belair. I just thought there was a match that anybody knows that Carmella was not going to win that match. But like I said, overall, I will give the Money in the Bank pay-per-view what it is due. It is actually a good pay-per-view. And yeah, this is Jughead82 signing off. You guys have a good one.